We got like an end of time. I know, dude. I know. I'm trying to get a build on Steam because I want to get the testing started. And I just need something uploaded as well. Yeah, I got like a main monitor and then like the vertical one and then another on the left for like checking the stream and stuff like that. Build on Steam. Yeah, I'm trying to get the build on Steam. So like I'm like at the point where I can upload. I just have no idea how to upload to Steam because they have packages and depots, which I feel is pretty straightforward. They give you like a starter package that you upload your builds to in a depot, but I need to make another package for the beta testing so that I can hand out keys and then close that package when I release the actual game later. And I don't know how to do that. But first I gotta fix a problem where I'm able to connect to Steam and create a lobby and have people join when I'm in the Unity editor. I'm trying to do it, bro. I'm trying to do it, but I'm running into an issue where the build. I'm running into an issue where the build does not connect to Steam, even though the editor does. So like, let's see, I should be able to test it right now. Fix the podcast and like TF. I don't know what TF means. So like, I connected. That's my Steam username, right? And I click host a game. I choose my save file and I start a lobby. And that creates the Steam lobby. And then literally anybody can join like through this. Like I have a laptop and I set that up and I was able to join. So it works, but for some reason it doesn't work on the build and I don't know why. I don't know why that doesn't work. It could be the way I'm opening it. You know, you got a real review. I came here while I was sharing. Bro, you're crazy. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate that you're able to put gooning aside to join the stream. I never thought I'd say that. Alright, let me see if I can find out why this isn't working. Oh shit, never mind. No! Shit. A non-Steam game. Okay. We're gonna test it right now. So I go to... Fuck, where is it? Steam... Games? I don't know. Games... Where do I... Oh no, I didn't put it aside, I just... Hyper mode? Okay, bro. Okay. Whose man is this? Okay. And then I can close the lobby. That works just fine. Okay, so basically I have to open the game through Steam. I have to launch it through Steam. And there's a way to do that. Carphone. Steam. I don't know where fuck games. I don't know how to do that. Can I? How do I add a game? Games. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. Well, let me finish showering and join back. Alright. Very well. Alright. Good lord. Jesus Christ. Browse. We want to go to desktop. Different one. And that's when we want to open. What the fuck did I go? Nice. Okay. Okay. We're gonna close this. We're going to open the build. Let's see what it does. Okay. For some reason it opens on the wrong screen, but that's okay. Host a game. Start a lobby. Start a game. Nothing's up. God damn it! Why is nothing happening? Alright, let's try one more thing. So what do I need to do? File. Um. Oh, let's go. It worked, I think. It did. Yes! Okay, that was the problem. Let's go, dude. Okay. Nice, super cool. Ah. Oh shit. Why is... No, don't open again. That is not what I wanted to do. Stop. Exit. Stop. Exit. That's wicked, dude. So the build works now. Let's go. So we don't have to do anything in here. Thank God. I was really worried that it wasn't gonna work at all, but we're launching through Steam. We're starting a Steam lobby. Everything's working out just fine. Let's go. Alright, that means we can move on to the good stuff. Steam packages and depots. Jeez.
Popeyes.
God damn it, Popeyes. Ain't nobody care.
Depot. Depot is essentially a collection of files that Steam will deliver to players' devices. You are the one who decides what any depot contains. In the simplest and probably most common case, you will have just one depot and that depot contains the latest version of your game. But you can also have multiple depots. In that case, the first depot might contain a Windows version of your game The second depot could contain a Linux version of your game, and the third could contain DLC files for your game, and a fourth one could contain some exclusive soundtrack files for your game. You will be able to decide which of your players get access to which depots. It depends on your situation how many depots you should have. If you only have one collection of files and you want to deliver those same files to all your customers, then having just one depot is the right answer. Okay, so that's depot. Let's move on to build. Build is just a collection of depots when you upload your files to Steam. So in other words, when you upload your depots to Steam, a new build is created within Steam. You can have as many builds as you want. In a simple example, build 1 could contain version 1.0 of your game, and a newer build 2 could contain version 1.1 of your game. In most cases, I would say it's safe to think of builds as basically just different version numbers for your game. Next, what is a branch? Branches are used to define which build of the game your players will get. By default, all games have just one branch, the default branch that every new player is on. So all your players will get delivered the same game build that you have set for that branch. But you can also add new branches. You could have, for example, a beta branch that has a newer build of the game and only let a few players access that branch. You yourself can define how many branches your game has and which build is active on each of those branches. Those three terms should give you a good understanding of how your game files are handled within Steam, but let's still quickly talk about one more related term, the package. Packages are how players can get access to your game. The most common situation is that the player buys the game on your Steam page. In other words, buys the default store package for your game, and by doing that gains access to a package that contains your game. The default store package is usually enough and you don't need to do anything special to get it working. But it's good to know that you can also create additional packages and define what applications and or what depots those packages contain. You could, for example, create a package that contains all your games or a package that contains a million different DLCs to your game. So that's the quick theory portion. Now let's see in practice how you can upload your game builds to Steam. There are a few different ways to upload builds to Steam, and many professional developers have probably automated the process to some extent. What I will show you is the simple way that should work with all games and how I do it myself. Alright, let's start. First of all, you need to have a Steamworks developer account. If you don't have one, I have a separate video about how you can get one. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Now, assuming you have the account, you first need to download the Steam SDK. You can find a link to the latest version on your Steamworks homepage. Once you have downloaded it, extract the files and within them find a folder called Content Builder. It should be under the Tools folder. Under the Content Builder folder, create a new folder for each of your depots. Let's assume you have just one depot, so create just one folder. You can name it whatever you want, for example, Windows version. Now, to get something to fill the folder with, go to Unity or whatever engine you are using and build the game. Once it's done, copy-paste all the build files into the new folder you just created. Alright, so now you need to find a zip file called SteamPipe GUI within the Steam SDK files. It should also be under the Tools folder. Extract the files in that zip file. There's a short README file in there that's good to read, but let's continue with the tutorial. The other file you extracted is the executable for a SteamPipe graphical user interface app. Open the file to run the app. In here, you will need to fill out some details. At the top, fill in the ID.
You ever hear a city hum like it's got a story to tell? That's Nashville. Your upgrade
Of your app, which you can see on your Steamworks page. Then you can enter whatever build description you like. it doesn't matter what it is. Under those, there's a depot list where you will need to add all the depots you want to upload. We only created one folder, so add that folder to the list. The depot ID should be correct automatically if you only have one depot. If you want to make sure or otherwise check depot IDs, you can do that on the depot page in your Steamworks settings. Then at the bottom, you also need to add the path to your Content Builder folder and also fill in the account details of your Steamworks developer account. If this is your first time uploading a build for your game, you will also need to press the Generate VDFs button. This will create some configuration files that are needed for the upload process. You only need to press the button once and later on repeat only if you add new depots to the list or your configuration files have been removed for some reason. Okay, now we have everything set up in the tool. Press upload and a command line interface will pop up. It will probably first do some updates and then it might ask you for a Steam card code. After you pass those, it should start uploading your build, and if everything goes smoothly, the command line will soon disappear and you will have a log message saying that it was a success. You can now close this app. Let's go check out our newly uploaded build in Steamworks. Navigate to the Builds section in your Steamworks settings. In here you can see all the builds you have uploaded, including the one you just now uploaded. But before we do anything with that, let's go to the General Installation section under the Installation tab. In here, we need to tell Steam how your game can be opened. So add a new launch option and in there fill in the details. If you are not doing anything special, the only thing you need to do here is add the name of the executable file. Do note that if your executable file is inside a folder in your build, you will need to add the exact path for that file. After setting up the launch option, you need to go to the Publish tab and publish changes so that the new launch option will work. Don't worry, your game will not be published by doing this. Once we are done with that, let's go back to the Build section. Now in your newly uploaded build, set the branch as default and hit Preview Change. You still need to confirm the change on a new page, and then after that your build will be live on the default branch. And no worries again, this doesn't mean random people can now play your game. It just means that your game can now be played through Steam by those who have access to the default branch. If you haven't given out access rights to anyone, it should just be you who can now play the game. Let's go see if it works. If your Steam has been running in the background, you might need to restart it. Seems to work great. That's what you want to see. But if instead of seeing your game pop up, you see an error like this, you probably messed up something with the launch option details, like I did with a typo in the executable name. Go recheck that and do note that you might again need to restart your Steam for the change to take effect. But otherwise, if you didn't get any errors, that's it. That's the whole process. On the first time, it's a bit of work to figure out everything, but after that it's very easy. When you want to update your game, you just build a new version of the game in your game engine, upload a new build with your SteamPipe tool, and in the Build tab set the new build to the default branch. Now you have a new version out that will automatically be delivered to your players. Before I end the video, I'll quickly show you a few additional things that might be interesting to you. What if you want to give someone else access to play your game during the development phase? To achieve this, you can go to the Request Keys section in Steamworks and submit a request. There are separate sections that your game does. Before I end the video, I'll quickly show you a few additional things that might be interesting to you. What if you want to give someone else access to play your game during the development phase? To achieve this, you can go to the Request Keys section in Steamworks and submit a request. There are separate sections there that are meant for the development team or testers. After submitting the request, you will usually get them within a few hours once Steam grants the request. While you are uploading your first builds, you might also want to create a new branch in the build settings. This will enable you to have multiple builds active for your game on Steam, so you can have your default branch that normal players use, and then, for example, a password protected beta branch that you can use to test newer builds that might not yet be quite ready for the default branch. This way you can hopefully avoid any awkward situations where suddenly none of your players can actually start the game. If you need to have multiple depots for your game, for example a different depot for a Mac version, you can go to the depots tab here, add a new depot and set the details accordingly. Then when you are doing this whole uploading process, you just need to have additional folders for the additional depots, and in the Steam Pipe GUI you need to have all the depots added on the list. Also remember that whenever you add a new depot, you also need to recreate the VDF configuration files. Now when you upload the build, it will include multiple depots. And that's everything you need to know to start uploading your games to Steam. I hope this was helpful to you, and let me know in the comments if there was anything that is
What makes a post-university person? Post people don't have time to waste. They want to move their career forward. Post people don't have money to waste.
Oh, freaking ads, dude. Are you a post person? What?
Here, and today I'm going to show you a pretty cool trick. It's a secret console that you can enable within Steam that lets you do all kinds of cool stuff. And I'll give an example of something you can do. Huge shout outs are your menu. So let's go ahead. So if I recently used game need to just click on 2216 using Windows, and we can see here that it looks like it.
Okay. I don't know how to do that.
In this video, I'm going to go over what you should do to prepare before releasing a game on Steam. I'll go over the various tasks that I do before the game is ready for launch in order to increase the chances of success. This is my general to-do list that I have crafted over my 8 Steam releases. Alright, let's begin!
Yo! Let's go. I got the problem figured out. The multiplayer does work.
Welcome, I'm your Code Monkey, and this
Now I'm
channel
just
is all
trying
about
to
helping you
learn how
learn how to
to
make your own games
upload.
with in-depth tutorials made by a professional indie game developer. So if you find the video helpful, consider subscribing. Okay, so here is my complete general to-do list. This is the list that I follow before release, and then there's another list of things to do right after release. I'll go over point by point what each element represents and why it's important. If you follow this list, your chances of finding success on Steam increase dramatically. First,
Whoa.
here is the before release list. This assumes your game is pretty much fully complete. Usually for me, I do most of these things in the
Another
last 2 to
code,
3 weeks
bro.
before release.
What?
It is important to have the game pretty much done since
Oh
you need to
yeah,
record
no.
footage for
Obviously, I'll let you
trailer
guys
and
have a
grabs.
code. Everybody who's in the community Discord gets a code. For testing. That doesn't mean like the official release will be free, but like you guys will get a help with like testing and stuff. And like just for context, I'm not stopping working on the game after 75 days. Literally the 75 days is just to get me set up, and then up until Christmas I'll be like making it look nice, adding audio, proximity chat, animations, all that shit. I'll be making it look way better. Like the challenge is gonna keep going. No, not only you. Everybody who's in the community Discord will get a Steam key or whatever. Or at least I'm hoping I'll have enough. I don't know if they limit that, but we'll see.
Some screenshots. So let's start there with preparing the store page. This one should actually be done before release, but then it should be updated right as you're about to launch. One of the most important elements to find success on Steam is to gather a large number of wish lists before you launch. So as soon as your game is
I'll tell you
ready
what,
to be
you
announced,
could be the
should
first,
have a
bro.
Steam page ready to collect those wish lists. And right before you launch, you should review the store page and improve it. Your text should be very quick and to the point. No one is going to read a wall of text, so stick to short sentences and bullet points. Always write your text from the point of view of what benefit it provides the player. So for example, instead of saying features 10 weapons, you should say destroy your enemies with 10 different weapons. On Steam, you can also add gifts to your store page, so make sure you do that. Animated gifts are a great way to quickly grab someone's attention. And make sure you update the store page to indicate all the various Steam features that the game has, along with its languages and your media links. Then, one of the most important pieces of marketing is your trailer. This will likely be the main thing that sells
You have been around the
players
most.
to your game. It will also be the main thing that press sites will embed in their articles. For a good trailer, the best approach is to keep it brief, so usually 60 to 90 seconds. Going shorter than that will likely not be enough time to showcase your features, and going longer, you risk losing the interest of your viewers.
I still feel
Get right to
though
the
a lot of
action and try
people
to hook the viewer in
join the
first
server
10 seconds.
because they want to see
So
what
that means
happens
definitely
and
don't
mess with
spend
the
30 seconds
testing.
showcasing your studio logo.
And I
The
need all the
content for
feedback I
trailer
can
will
get. So I'm
obviously
gonna make sure
depend
that
on the
I always
genre.
get it
Music
as
is
many people
extremely
as I can
important
in the
for taking
Discord.
the trailer
seem
to another
use
level. So if you
testing.
have an action game, it should be very fast-paced and clearly sell the feeling of playing the game. Whereas if you have a management tycoon game, then you should show just how complex and expansive the player can build. Either way, you need to quickly hook the player on what is unique about your game. Remember, there are hundreds of games coming out every month, so why should a player stick with your game instead of just going to
Boot.dev's biggest
God damn it.
sale of
Bad. I mean, gosh damn it.
After the trailer comes the screenshots. Usually stick to a small number of good screenshots, so something like 5 or 6. Make sure they showcase different parts of your game, and make sure you have the UI disabled when taking them. Steam also requires the screenshots to feature just gameplay, so avoid adding extra elements. Then you have Steam tags, which are an excellent way to increase discoverability. You should add popular but accurate tags to your game. Anyone can add tags, but as a developer you have extra power in the tags that you add, so choose them wisely. The tags help Steam classify your game, which will help choose where the game will appear on various places in the store. Here the More Games list showcases similar games, so your game might show up on other games with similar tags. Here on the Steam recommendations you can see it recommends a certain game because you played something similar. And each tag has its own page where you can see the new releases, what's hot, discounts, and so on. Some of the tags are hyper competitive like the indie tag, so chances are you won't be able to really stand out on that one. So go for more niche tags that accurately describe your game. Here my game, Battle Royale Tycoon, is on the new and trending for the management tag. So again, tags are very important, very powerful, and you have extra power, so choose your 5 tags wisely. Something very important for launching on Steam are the Steam features. Some people will absolutely not touch a game if it does not have achievements, so make sure you implement as many Steam features as you can. The implementation is very simple, and you can use the free steamworks.net wrapper in Unity. So add achievements to your game, then also add as many other features as you can. Stats and leaderboards are very easy to implement. Then you have Steam Cloud, which you should use to store save files and options. And finally, trading cards. This one depends if your game is allowed or not. I believe right now any game must reach a certain threshold before it can add cards, so you might not be able to do it right at launch. However, when you can, do add them since there are a lot of people who really care about cards, and adding them will help ensure a nice long tail. If this is your very first Steam game, then try to allow for a nice amount of time to research and implement all of these features. Another Steam feature that might be extremely important depending on your game is the workshop. There are some games that live and breathe based on the workshop and others that no one really touches it. Regardless of how suitable your game is, it always helps to add it. So think about what you have in your game that can be customized. For example, maybe you have some characters and you can customize the sprite, maybe you have some weapons where you can modify their stats, or maybe you can go really hard and make some sort of Lua scripting mod to allow for really complex logic like custom quests. How deep you go in the workshop is up to you. Also, depending on how complex it is, you may need to add some instructions. Creating an official guide is a great way to do it. Then when you have decided what types of items you want to allow, it's time to add some of your own to the workshop. That way when the game comes out, there are already some items for people to play around with. And here's a bonus tip. In my games I like to highlight certain items and showcase them in-game. Here it is in the corner. This is the workshop showcase. The way it works is it grabs the items added to this collection and displays them in-game. This is a great way of showing in-game what other people have created. Something you can do on Steam is create a dedicated developer page. This is a place where you can list
some
all
people
your
just
games
subscribe
and sort them in
to,
collections.
like,
You can also
keep it
post
in mind,
announcements
you know?
and people can follow you as a developer. If this is your first game, then you don't have much to put there, but make sure the page is set up. If players like your game, they might follow you in the developer page, which will allow you to post announcements whenever you launch your next game. If you get enough fans, that is a really good way of making subsequent releases much easier. One of the best ways of reaching a larger audience is simply localization. Whether this is easy or hard will depend on how you built your game. If you have a lot of hard-coded strings and text in images, this will be very hard or impossible. However, if you built your game whilst thinking about later adding localization, then this task will be very simple. As you are making the game, make sure everywhere you use a string, you grab it from a class. If you do it like that, then all you need to do is get the translations and add localization logic to that class. Here is how I set up the localization for my games. Anywhere I need some text, I just call this function with enum to identify the string, and then here it simply does a switch and grabs the string based on the active language. So, as you're building your game, keep localization in mind. You can double or triple your sales by simply supporting more languages than just English. Then you have Unity Analytics and Cloud Diagnostics. This one will be extremely useful when the game is finally out. Analytics will depend on what kind of game you're making, whether it's incredibly useful or simply nice to have. If your game is free to play, then using analytics to ensure people don't drop out is a necessity. However, for paid games, they are also useful, but less so since your goal is to ensure the player has fun rather than increase retention. What is extremely important is Cloud Diagnostics. If you've never used it, this is a wonderful Unity feature. It allows you to track crashes and errors through the Unity dashboard. No matter how much you test your game before launch, you can guarantee that other people won't find bugs. And those people won't always be able to send you logs and save files. So Cloud Diagnostics is a godsend since you can see what issues are happening with other people playing your game. This will help you understand what the issue might be and how to fix it without having to depend on someone sending you their log files. So by now, your game should be completely stable when you play on your own machine. You should find no bugs, no issues, or anything wrong. However, do remember that the second the game goes live on Steam, you will have, hopefully, thousands of people playing your game. That also means thousands of different configurations, and you need to make sure your game works on all of them. So use application.targetFramerate to limit the frame rate of your game and make sure it is still fully playable at 10 frames per second. The logic in your game should not be dependent on frame rate, since you want even people with very low NPCs to be able to play. Also make sure you fully test your game in all kinds of resolutions. Unity allows you to change the aspect ratio.
I haven't
so make sure
opened it
your
yet.
game
I haven't
plays
skipped
normally
over
in
it.
16:9 as well as 5:4. This means all your UI should be set up correctly and anchored to the corners. If you just anchor everything to the center, then you'll have a lot of issues with smaller, more square resolutions. Then add some safety error messages that should be visible in case something goes wrong, particularly with loading. Here in my game, you can see this window with this text. This is shown right at the beginning of the first frame and hidden right at the end of that first frame. Meaning that if everything goes well, this is hidden and the player never sees it, but if something goes wrong during loading and the hide code doesn't run, the message is shown. This helps the player know something went wrong and how to contact me to fix it. Without this message, the player would simply be lost. Also, if you added localization, make sure all of the languages work. Personally, the way I test this is to make a script that changes the language every second and simply play the game like that. You should see all the text objects.
Deep search, so bad to the point I want to do that. Do you have a game trailer?
When you work out at Crunch, you feel good. Getting stronger, that feels good. Getting a high five from your new bestie, that feels good too. However,
Hey guys, welcome to my new video on how to upload your game to Steam using Steam Pipes. I decided I'm gonna record my process how I did it so you can have some tutorial of how it works in 2024. There is official tutorial from Steam, but that one is several years old and is totally not up to date, so it's almost unusable. So let's start. First thing we are gonna do is jump to our Steamworks page and scroll down to find download latest SDK button. Go ahead and download it. After that you can extract the whole file anywhere you want, it doesn't really matter. Then we are gonna go inside the folder, go to tools and open the SteamPipe GUI.
Well, he's not.
Go ahead and extract that one as
Not that it
well.
matters,
Again,
bro.
doesn't matter where.
He's giving me the information that I need.
Let's open it.
You're under the water?
Now this is the main tool that we are gonna use to send our game to Steam. First, go to tools and
Yes,
open the
download the
SteamPipe
SDK.
GUI. Go ahead and extract that one as well. Again, doesn't matter where. Let's open it. Now this is the main tool that we are gonna use to send our game to Steam. First thing to do is to fill our app ID that you can find in your Steamworks page once you click on your game. The depot number is usually same as your app ID, just replace the 0 with 1 at the end. But if you want to check it, you will go to Edit Steamworks Settings, SteamPipe and Depot. And you have your number right there.
What do you mean? I didn't see your trailer, dude. Do you have a trailer?
Now, your build
Oh,
description can be anything you want.
Bro, you-
I personally
okay.
put my version there. You will
I
later
did not see
see
that.
where the description is displayed. Next is our build path. The build
I
path
watched
is
it in a minute,
where
I
you
got
will
it.
extract all of your game files. Me personally, after I built my game with Unity, I just grabbed everything and just threw it there. The build path is in the same file with tools. Then you go into Content Builder and Content. Go ahead and throw all your game files there. After that, copy the path and drop it into the SteamPipe. After that, we will fill our Steamworks SDK content builder path. That's literally the file before we went into the content file. So once again, SDK, tools, content builder, and throw the path there. Next, you are gonna fill in your username and password. Those are the same ones you use to log into the Steam account you used to upload the game. So put those there. Once you do that, click on the generate the PDF files. It will generate some text documents. I have a few more there. I don't think it matters, but after I had few problems, I deleted them and click generate again and only got 2 documents. So if you run into some troubles, you can go ahead and do it, but otherwise leave the documents you have there.
Okay.
After that, we can go ahead and click upload. A command prompt will start and it's gonna load all kinds of stuff. After a moment, it will ask you for Steam Guard code. That one should be in your email, depends on how your verification is set up. I personally found mine in email and just copied it there and hit enter. And that part is done. The rest of the stuff is done in our Steamworks page, so let's jump there. We go once again into our Edit Steamworks settings. There we will go into SteamPipe and build. There you can see the build that I just uploaded. If everything went well on the upload process, you should see yours as well. You can also see the description that I gave it. We will go ahead and set the build live on branch to default. Quick note, if for some reason something goes wrong and it doesn't work at the end, happened to me, you will later just upload it again and select that new version to default. After that, click on preview change and then set the build live now. No worries, this won't actually set your build to live or anything, it just means that anyone that has access to it can download it. This is for beta testing and stuff, meaning if you gave your game keys to someone, they will be able to download it. The game is not public yet. After that, let's jump to our depot. You can check stuff there. I only change operating system to Windows since that's the one my game is gonna work on. Then go to installation and general installation. We need to change our launch options there. Our install folder is the name of the file for the game once you download it. Go ahead and click edit. The only thing you need to change there is executable. You should
What did I try? when it closed. Ugh. Bro, what?
Have their game.exe, change it into whatever your executable is gonna be called, meaning the one you click the start the game, and of course that X at the end. Change your launch time to default one as well. And that's all. Let's go to
bro.
publish,
Squeaky.
prepare
floor
for
order.
publishing, and write down the code Steamworks. Now once again, this will not set the game to publish, it will only allow for it to be downloaded by the people who have it before its release. This will also allow for you to send the game build for the review. If you copied everything, you should be fine. The only error I've gotten was that my game was crashing right after the Unity logo. For me, the problem was that I still had my app ID in game set to 480, which is the default one and not my official game ID. If you have any problem or something doesn't work, feel free to ask in the comments. I will try to help as best as I can. With all that being said, you should be able to download your game on Steam right now if you unlocked it already. If you have play instead of install, there just click uninstall and it should fix it so that you can download it. So that's all from me. Hope to see you again. Bye.
250 years ago, a prominent
Whoa, UPS.
Together.
Shit.
Hey guys, welcome to my new video on how to upload your game to Steam using Steam Pipes. I decided I'm gonna record my process.
5-minute hack. What? Bro, everybody's got a video.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric from Valve, and today we're going to talk Steam keys. Now, there's so much more information about this online in our documentation, but this is just going to get you up to speed really quick. We're going to cover how to request Steam keys, the 3 types of Steam keys, and where and how to ban Steam keys when you need to do that. All right, let's get right into it. The first thing that we're going to talk about is how to request Steam keys. And you'll start at your game's app landing page. If you have the correct permissions, you'll see an option that says Request Steam Product Keys, as you see here. Clicking this link takes you to a wizard that is designed to walk you through the process of requesting Steam keys. Before you make a Steam key request, you should know what you'll be using this batch of keys for so you can request the correct type of Steam key and where you'll be using them so you can tag the keys appropriately. So you may be asking, there are 3 kinds of Steam keys? I thought there was just one. Well, actually there are 3 types of keys, and in this video I'll be explaining each type.
I gotta blow my nose.
We're going to start with the default release key. This is the type of key you probably have in mind when you think of a key users redeem on Steam to add your game to their library. Default release keys are the most common type of Steam key. They're typically used to sell your game at retail or on other digital stores. Users can redeem a default release key to add a game to their library at any time, but it will only allow them to play the game once it's actually released on Steam. A common question we get from developers is, after my game is launched on Steam, can I go ahead and sell these keys on my website or another store? Yes, absolutely, and we don't charge you anything for that service. Our only request is that you give an equivalent offer to customers on Steam. Finally, make sure to carefully review and accept the Steam key guidelines that are presented to you at the end of the key request process. Okay, now moving on to the next type of Steam key, let's talk about release override keys, sometimes called beta keys. These keys grant immediate access to your game even before it is officially launched on Steam. Now, these keys are best used for small beta tests or if you want to give out keys to press or influencers before your game is actually launched. If you have a much larger stress test in mind for your game, or you think you need a large number of release override keys for another reason, you can always reach out to us via a support ticket and we'll review your request. We can usually figure out something that will work for you. The next important point about release override keys is that unless they are revoked, a user will keep access to your game forever, even after your game is launched. So, for example, if you're running a beta test with 1,000 people, and at the end of the test you feel like you got all the data and feedback you need from that test, you should probably revoke those keys, or otherwise all of those users will keep the game after launch, meaning you've effectively given away 1,000 copies of your game.
That would suck.
Finally, it's important to note that it's never okay to sell release override keys. Unlike default release keys, which are designed to be used to help you sell your game on your website or in other stores, release override keys should never be sold, and they're really just intended to be used for beta tests and press and influencers. Finally, we move on to the last of the 3 types of Steam keys, and that's developer auto grant. A lot of times, developers don't actually need to request any of these keys at all. And that's because any account that's in your Steamworks partner group will automatically get access to your game. So you really shouldn't need very many of these keys. Typically 10 would be plenty. They're really just for any developers who aren't already in your partner group. Developer auto grant keys should never be sold or distributed to stores. Earlier I mentioned that there may be cases where you would want to revoke access to a Steam key. And doing that is a pretty simple process. First, you will go to this website linked here. And on this website, you can disable unused keys that you don't need anymore. So for example, if you had provided a big batch of keys to another retailer and they had returned back any unsold keys
you'll get
and you wanted to safely dispose of those,
I'm not gonna hand out developer keys to you.
You can also use this site to revoke access to your game, such as at the end of a beta test. You can also revoke keys that have been stolen or purchased fraudulently. Now, that last item, you really want to be extra careful anytime you are banning keys, because once a key is revoked, it can't be given back. And we really ask that you please do not revoke keys for any arbitrary reasons or take away product from legitimate customers. So be extra careful. All right, in summary, how do I request Steam keys? Well, go to your app landing page for your game, click on Request Steam Product Keys, follow the on-screen wizard. At the end, carefully review and accept the Steam key guidelines, and then your key request is submitted and it will be reviewed. What are the 3 types of Steam keys? There is the default release key, typically just what people think of as a Steam key. And these are used to sell your game on your website or another store, and they only grant access to your game after it's been launched on Steam. Next is the release override key. It grants immediate access to your game even before you've launched your game on Steam, and it's really intended to be used for beta testing and press and influencer access. Finally, there's the developer auto grant. A lot of developers don't even need this key at all, but it's really just for developers who are working on your game who aren't already in your partner group. Finally, how do I ban and revoke keys? You go to this website and follow the instructions. Okay, there's so much more information available online, and here is a link to our documentation where you can read more about Steam keys. And of course, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to our biz and tech team directly using this link. All right, that's it for this quick guide on Steam keys. Thank you so much. For example, if you're running a beta test with 1,000 people, and at the end of the test you feel like you got all the data and feedback you need from that test, you should probably revoke those keys, or otherwise all of those users will keep the game after launch, meaning you've effectively given away 1,000 copies of your game. Finally, it's important to note that it's never okay to sell release override keys. Unlike default release keys, which are designed to be used to help you sell your game on your website or in other stores, release override keys should never be sold, and they're really just intended to be used for beta tests and press and influencers. Finally, we move on to the last of the 3 types of Steam keys, and that's developer auto game auto grant process. First, you will go to this website linked here, and on this website you can disable unused keys that you don't need anymore. So for example, if you had provided a big batch of keys to another retailer and they had returned back any unsold keys to you and you wanted to safely dispose of those, you could do that on this website. You can also use this site.
Okay, so let me watch a couple more videos. I don't need a demo.
Hello,
Just
I have
see
something
how everybody does
amazing
it.
to show you. I have upgraded my mic stand, so my audio should be better. Oh yes, want to know how publishing works? I'll explain. But here is a deal breaker up front. It cost me £74.20 or $100 dues. See? Forms to fill out, external programs to configure, and a whole load of busy. Only thing can give people something on. No. Create a fresh new Steam here, so load the Steam inside uploaded on in brackets next to end game version under Steam configure per account order and
Steam beta branch.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Hey, how long will this take? I'm kind of in a rush.
And welcome to the short tutorial on how to change to the beta branch. So there's 3 different ways that you can do it. It all comes out to the same way of doing it, but just depending on what screen that you're sitting on. So if you're sitting on this screen here, you just want to right click on properties, betas, and most of you will be sitting on the none, obviously, if you're trying to figure out how to get to beta. You want to click on beta branch, hit the X. That's it. So what it's going to do, it's going to download the beta version. And when you want to go back to the live version, again, you go to properties, betas, and then you would click on none. And it'll do the same thing. Now, there are different ways of them writing beta. So here, properties, betas. This one is a development dev branch. This one is, let's see, betas. Experimental. So yeah, if anyone says, okay, well, we have the beta branch, we have experimental or something like that, it's all the same way of changing it.
That's not what I was thinking. Steam branches.
Hello, I'm Aaron, an engineer on the Steam
What's up,
team.
Aaron?
Today I'll be talking to you about branches, what they are, and how you can make use of them in your game. Let's get started. Branches are versatile tools for managing different versions of your game. We call them branches in Steamworks, but they're also known as betas in the Steam client. They're widely used to control development workflows, reduce risk when releasing and testing major updates, and to assist when balancing multiplayer gameplay. A common way to use branches is to create a preview branch so that a small set of your players can test out an upcoming version of your game before you're ready to release it to the general public. You can allow anyone to use the preview, or you can only give access to a selection of your players. One particularly great use for branches is when your game has mods. When you make a major update that could potentially break existing mods, you can create a branch for the prior build so that people can still play your game with their favorite mods while mod developers work on updating them to your newest build. Branches can be public or password protected. Password protected ones, hidden ones, are super handy for keeping early builds under wraps. There's a special branch called default, which is where everyone starts off on. The primary version of your game will be on the default branch, and this is what players will download when they first buy your game. From there, players can choose to switch to a different branch that they have available to them. The Steam client will download that new build automatically. One thing I want to mention that's recently changed is about hidden branches. Hidden branches used to be a bit less hidden than we wanted. Their names were visible, and people could see when you updated them so they could potentially tell that you were in active development in a particular area. Developers have been asking us to fix this for a while, and it's recently been approved so that hidden is now properly hidden. Okay, let's walk through a quick example. Say you have a preview out to your customers. You can see it here as build number 75. You then make some improvements and push a new build, which you upload to Steam as build number 84. Once that build is ready, you can set it live on the preview branch. Your customers that are using the preview branch will automatically start to download the new build. Alright, some other things related to builds and branches. A long requested feature is that developers wanted to interact with branches from within their game. This was recently added. So now, let's say that your game loads up mods on startup. It notices that these mods it loaded were incompatible with the version of the game the user is currently playing. With this API, you can find a branch where they would work and help the player switch to it. You can automate uploading builds to Steamworks. You set up your build site to publish Steam on Success. There's even an option to automatically make builds live on a branch such as your daily playtest branch upon upload. Then, anyone in your studio can have access to that through the Steam client.
I ain't got $100.
One limitation to be aware of is that you can't automatically switch to the default branch without an additional authentication step. This helps avoid situations where an account is compromised and someone attempts to upload an incorrect build. It's a little bit of extra friction, but it's there for a good reason. LAN cache is a cool tool that the Steam client has built-in support for. It's a
Bro, I ain't got a clue.
Downy April Fresh gives you a whole week of freshness with just one
I've
wash.
already paid for the application.
Tis the season of
I've got the application set up. I just haven't uploaded a build.
Giving. And winning.
Game
Oh my
on
God,
with
Cole's mom.
Hey, welcome to this very short tutorial. This one is not really about Yak and more about Steam. I often talk about beta branch, main branch, alpha branch, and not everybody knows what this means. So very simply, Steam gives to developers the possibility to propose different versions of their games for various testing purposes. So there's always the main branch, which is the public official version of the game. Then there can be others, as many of as the dev wants. So I maintain a few branches for YAG, and I'm going to show you how to switch from one to the other.
Yeah, I spent 100.
So you just open your Steam client, then display your library, and on the game that you want to modify, you right-click and then choose Properties. And in this you will find a Beta tab, in which you will find the list of all available versions or branches. So none is the main branch, it's the official public version of the game, and it exists for every game. The others are the ones that are...
I'll be right back. I can use the bathroom. Bro, I have 0 spare $100 bills. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money no more.
I have currently set up for YAG. So Cedric is my own testing branch and is password protected, so you won't have access to it. Previous is the
it's an ad every single time. God, motherfucking die.
This is Eric from Valve, and this is a talk called Testing Your Game on Steam. In this talk, we'll cover the features and tools that Steam offers to help you test your game, and we'll also talk about the stages of a game's development lifecycle and when it might be best to use each feature. We'll also cover internal testing of your game, external betas using Steam keys, using the Steam playtest feature, and even post-launch testing of your game. All right, let's jump right into it.
Yes, please.
Welcome to Testing Your Game on Steam. If you're watching this video, you're probably thinking about running a beta for your game on Steam.
Hell yeah, I am.
And if you're running a beta, you might be looking for feedback from players about gameplay, or bug reports to help you find and fix any issues in your game. Or you may also be looking to stress test your servers to make sure that you're delivering a smooth experience for players when you launch. This talk is going to cover all the tools and features you can use to run a beta on Steam.
Let's go.
With so many features and options, where do you start?
I don't know.
Start with thinking about your needs for your game. And there are some helpful questions that you can ask yourself to help you think about your needs. The first one might be, how many players do I want in this beta that I'm running? Am I thinking about running a relatively small beta, or am I at a stage of development in the game where I want to have lots of players playing my game? Another question you might ask is, do I want my beta to be open or closed? What phase of development are you in right now? Do I want my beta to be scalable in size? Let's say that your beta right now has 500 players, but you eventually need 50,000 players to properly test your game.
Hell no.
It's good to identify ahead of time if it's important for you to be able to grow your beta's size over time. And finally, is my beta for the public or just friends and family?
Definitely
and these
just
questions
friends
are
and family.
closely linked to thinking about your goals. And there's some suggestions that we have when you think about planning your goals for a beta. The first one is, have a plan going into your beta for gathering feedback. Of course, it doesn't really make sense to run a beta and to get a bunch of feedback if you don't have a good way to gather that feedback and think about that feedback. We also suggest being serious about implementing the feedback that you're getting from players, because players are giving you good information about your game, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense to gather all that feedback if you weren't in a position to be able to implement that. And related to that, give yourself time to implement the feedback that you're getting. If you run your beta too close to the launch of your game, then you're not able to really give yourself the time that you need to incorporate the feedback that you're getting. Okay, you've thought about your needs and your goals. Now let's plan your approach, starting with talking about the phases of a game's development lifecycle. And here's an example game development lifecycle and when Steam's beta testing features may be most helpful during each phase of a game's development. Your game's lifecycle might look a little different, and as a developer, you can pick and choose which features and tools make sense for your game. You don't need to use all of these features, just the ones that will help you achieve your goals. We'll go through each one of these phases, but it all starts with uploading your first build. In phase 1, only the developers have access to the build, and they're doing internal testing. In phase 2, we take the testing external and start running a closed beta with Steam keys. In phase 3, the testing goes more broad with the Steam playtest feature, and that brings us to a release, but then we'll look at post-launch testing with phase 4. Okay, let's take a closer look at each phase and how you can use Steam's tools and features. Phase 1. During this phase, only the developers have access to the build of the game, and you're only doing internal playtests. And you're accomplishing this by uploading your build into Steamworks. It's just that simple. Anyone with the correct permissions in your Steamworks partner group will have access to your build through autogrants. It's going to happen automatically. You will likely be uploading many builds as development progresses. You may even want to automate the process of uploading builds. Our uploading to Steam documentation has plenty of pointers to help you streamline this phase of development. Your project may be in phase 1 for a long time, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it because it's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to move on to phase 2. In this stage of a game's development, you've been working on the game for a while and have done some internal testing, and now you're ready to get some feedback from actual players. In this phase, you may want to run a closed beta with a set of hand-picked players. We'll call this focused external testing. Steam keys are a useful tool for this type of beta. Steam keys offer you a way to grant specific user access to your development build of your game, meaning that you get to select which players get access and which players get to be testers, which makes it great for friends and family betas or other small closed betas. And the type of Steam key that we'd recommend using for this type of beta during this phase of development is a release state override Steam key. But what is a release state override Steam key? It's a type of Steam key that overrides the release state of your game. It grants immediate access to the default branch of your game, even if your game isn't released yet. Hence the name release state override, because it overrides the release state of your game. Release date override Steam keys are a feature that Steam offers to help you test your game before launch, and they're requested for your main app ID. They're really suitable for smaller scale closed betas, and they are not revoked at launch, which means that when you hand out these keys to potential testers, they will retain ownership of your game unless you revoke these keys. So keep that in mind. Release date override Steam keys are generally limited to 2,500 keys total. That 2,500 includes keys you may need for testing, for running betas, for publishers, or sending out to the media or influencers, and also for crowdfunding purposes. So keep that in mind. You can't toggle access on or off for users who have a release date override Steam key like you can with Steam Playtest, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Users with release date override Steam keys can play your default branch build anytime and immediately, meaning that it's always on. And whenever you update your default branch, they will get those updates. Another thing to keep in mind is that any kind of Steam key, including release date override Steam keys, have value and are easily transferable before they are redeemed. We recommend doing your best to track these keys and who should have access to the build. Speaking of access and security, do you need your beta to be secret during this phase of testing? If so, release date override Steam keys for your main app ID could be an answer for you. And that's because before release, store presence and app configuration aren't detectable. And in this case, when you're using a release date override Steam key, you have not released your game. So these things aren't detectable. And also, friends aren't able to see players launching, playing, or even owning the game when it is in an unreleased state. However, it's important to keep in mind that your playtest is only as secret as your least trustworthy playtester. And we highly recommend announcing your game before running any non-internal playtests. Let's move to phase 3, and this is the phase of development when you're ready for wider scale testing, and you're going to do that using the Steam Playtest feature. Steam Playtest is designed to help you run a successful beta on Steam, big or small, open or closed. And what's great is that you can make one with a single click. Steam Playtest is low risk. You use a separate app ID from your main app ID, and you have a separate build and build review. Playtime on your Steam Playtest app ID does not count towards the actual game, and there are no user reviews for playtest apps. It's easy to manage and gate access to Steam Playtest. You can have a store page sign up to have an open call to players, or you can use Steam Key access to get players into your beta, or you can use both. You can add players who have requested access with one single click, and you can enable or end access to your playtest with a single click. It's super easy to manage your Steam Playtest in Steamworks, and you're going to do that from the Steam Playtest dashboard. This is a central control center that you can use to configure your Steam Playtest and to control it with just a few clicks. And it gives you so much flexibility and so many options that are not available when you're trying to run a beta with your main app ID. From the dashboard, it's really easy to see how many participants have access to your beta, whether they're getting
What
access
game
via
has
store page sign up or Steam
1,600,000
key,
participants
and how many
in the
players
playtest?
are waiting for
Like,
access,
who are
waiting
you?
to get into your beta. There's also some information on friend invites that have been sent, and we'll talk about that in a few more minutes. I'll take a moment to talk about all of the ways that you can configure your playtest for your needs, starting with store visibility. When you click on Store Visibility, you can configure and add a Request Access button for your playtest on your store page. That allows players to go and request access to your beta. And when they do that, they're going to show up on your dashboard as a player waiting to get in. The next option you have is Sign Up Type. Now, by default, playtests are set to limited. So if you have a Request Access button on your store page, when a player clicks that button, they will get added to a pool of players waiting to get in. And as a developer, it's easy for you to manage player access to your playtest on the Steam Playtest dashboard. And here we're looking at the dashboard and your ability to add additional players. So you can see in this example that we have 8,411 players waiting for access, and there is no one currently in our playtest. To grant access to players, you would just go to the field there and enter the number of players that you want to add, and players will be randomly selected from the pool of waiting players, and they will be added to the playtest. So it's really a pool of players and not so much a queue of players waiting to get into your beta. If you're playtesting with a multiplayer game and you have server limitations, for example, let's say that you only have servers spun up currently in the United States, you can choose to add users from specific countries. So in this particular case, if you only had servers that could service players in the US, you could click on the US and you can see there are 437 players waiting, and you would enter a number to grant access to, and it would select a random assortment of players from that pool of players that are waiting and give them access to the playtest.
Boot.dev's biggest sale of the year is...
That's a big sale.
A player does get access to a playtest, they will receive an email from Steam letting them know the good news that they're now in the playtest, and the playtest is also added to the user's library. So going back to configuring your playtest, in the sign-up type configuration, you have two choices. You can choose limited, which is that anyone can click the request access and get added to a pool of players waiting to get in. As a reminder, this is the default selection, or you can select open sign-up. And if you select open sign-up, players who click request access are immediately let into the playtest. Next, we'll talk about playtest status. And here you can toggle your playtest between playable and not playable. When you set it to playable, players with access to your playtest can launch this playtest from their library. And when you set not playable, players can't launch the playtest. And it's important to remember that this is not possible with your main app ID. This is something that is unique to Steam Playtest. When you set not playable, players can't launch the playtest. And it's important to remember that this is not possible with your main app ID. This is something that is unique to Steam Playtest as a feature, and something that is very useful if you want to gather feedback for a period of time and then maybe stop at a certain point and you want to take that feedback back, work on the game for a bit, and then reintroduce it to players and get an additional round of feedback. So you can turn on or off your playtest at any time with a simple click of a button. One thing I want to point out is that when you set your playtest to not playable, it doesn't remove the files from the player's PC, it only prevents them from launching the game from the Steam client. Finally, we'll talk about friend invites. Friend invites is another way for you to add players to your Steam playtest. When you enable friend invites, users with access to your playtest can invite friends, and those friends can go on to invite their friends. And this is a feature that is really designed for games that benefit from playing with friends. With friend invites, you can specify the number of invites each player gets, 1, 2, or 3. And you can enable or pause any time with a few clicks from the playtest dashboard. With friend invites, growth can compound really quickly, so it's really best for games with robust server capacity. If you're interested in learning more, check out our Steamworks documentation. So far, we've talked about 2 different ways that you can add players to your Steam playtest. The first is by adding a request access button to your store page, and the next is using friend invites. But there's another way that you can add players to your Steam playtest. You can also request Steam keys for your Steam playtest app ID. This can be in addition to or instead of store page signups.
That's what
You can request Steam keys for your Steam playtest app ID even if your signup isn't live on your store page. Steam keys for your Steam playtest app ID have some advantages. You have some flexibility with how you distribute those keys, and Steam keys are useful for adding specific users to your beta. We covered that a little bit earlier when we talked about release date override Steam keys. Now, when you're managing access to your Steam playtest, remember that Steam playtest keys can be revoked to remove access, but be thoughtful and communicate with players if you're planning to do that. It's not fun to be surprised when your access to a playtest is revoked. One question you may have is, how many Steam keys can I get for my Steam playtest app ID? Generally, you can get up to 50,000 Steam keys for your Steam playtest app ID and potentially more. Talk to us for more information. Here are some other important things to keep in mind about the Steam playtest feature. First, Steam playtests aren't featured on the Steam store in any way. They can appear on your game's store page if you have it configured that way, and if they become really popular, they can also appear on Steam Chart's Most Played. Playtests will also appear on a player's friends list when they're playing it, so that's another way for players to discover playtests that their friends are playing. Betas using Steam playtests are designed to grow in size over time and not shrink. You can't remove players who have signed up via store page. It is possible to revoke Steam keys for playtests, but again, that isn't a great user experience unless you've done a good job communicating that to players. Steam playtests are always free for players and can't be monetized. It's not okay to directly sell access to your playtest, and you also can't do any kind of in-game purchases for a Steam playtest. In fact, they just won't even work. It is okay to include Steam playtest access with a pre-purchase if you are doing one for your game, but I added an asterisk here because we don't offer pre-purchases for every game, and if you have questions about pre-purchases on Steam and how they work, I recommend reading through the Steamworks documentation page on pre-purchases to learn more. It's also okay to offer Steam playtest access as a reward for your time-limited crowdfunding campaign, but again, I'd recommend reading through our Steamworks documentation page on Steam keys.
Bro. Yo, it's that guy from Stranger Things. Just kidding.
Know about Steam playtest. And we're going to move on to phase 4 now, where we're going to continue to use the Steam playtest feature, but we're going to be using it for post-launch testing. So some developers may not realize that Steam playtest isn't just for unreleased games. You can use Steam playtest as a public test realm for features or updates that you're working on for your game. It's really helpful for testing new content for your game, and it has the same useful feature of being able to turn it on or off at any time. And of course, playtests are free, so if your game is paid, be really thoughtful about how you offer player access, because otherwise, if you're offering the full build for your game in a Steam playtest, then players may be getting your full game for free. So just be thinking about what slice of the game that you want to offer in your Steam playtest. Let's look at an example of using Steam playtest for post-launch testing using a case study. The Riftbreaker is a popular game on Steam that is using Steam playtest to run a beta for a multiplayer feature they plan to add to the game. They've conducted signups using Discord, and access is controlled using Steam keys. They're planning to run an open beta with store page signup sometime in the future. Pavel Lecky from Exor Studios, the developer of the Riftbreaker, says, "We moved our closed multiplayer beta for the Riftbreaker entirely to Steam playtest. I think it's a great tool both pre and post release. He goes on to say, the Playtest app is well integrated within the Steam ecosystem.
Okay, so that's what we want to do. We want to do playtest with Steam keys. So, I think I'm just gonna kill myself real quick. Just kidding. Ah, dude. I wish this just was like as simple as uploading a zip, you know? Like I like how sophisticated Steam is, but at the same time, I don't like. Alright, let's download the SDK. Open Sesame. Hopefully. Okay. Let's extract all. Nice. Okay. Where's the GUI? Okay, I found the GUI. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Let me see. Hold on, bro. Hold on. I gotta be careful that I don't show stuff I'm not supposed to show. You know. Let me see. Steam.
Are you wondering? Good. My experience in that player
So I'm at a race in Miami. I noticed.
Bro, Ben Stiller, get off my screen. Who does this man think he is? Good lord.
Let API could get access to your game. Gains to know that you can also start practice to a Steamworks develop. You first need to download the Steam content. You'll find a link to the latest version on your Steamworks homepage. Once you have downloaded it, extract the files and within them find a folder called Content Builder. Find a link to the latest version on your Steamworks homepage. Once you have downloaded it, extract the files.
I found it. Okay.
And within them find a folder called Content Builder. It should be under the Tools folder. Under the Content Builder folder, create a new folder for each of your depots.
What the fuck? I guess we just throw it in here.
Let's assume you had just one depot, so create just one folder. You can...
Oh, right there. Yay, my game content lives here.
Name it whatever you...
I'm gonna call it Breaking and Wintering Beta. Okay, we'll just leave it at that for now.
Want, for example, Windows version. Now, to get something to fill the folder with,
rename underscore Windows. Just to be nice.
Go to Unity or whatever engine you are using and build the game. Once it's done, copy paste all the build files into the new folder.
Okay. So build 1. We are just gonna drag all that shit in there. Look at that.
Folder you just created. Alright, so now you need to find a zip file called SteamPipe GUI within the Steam SDK files. It should also be under the Tools folder. Extract the files in that zip file. There's a short README file in there that's good to read, but let's continue with the tutorial. The other file you extracted is the executable for a SteamPipe graphical user interface app. Open the file to run the app. In here, you will need to fill out.
Okay. Let's get our app ID. About freaking time I get something uploaded, man. Alright. 52580. Build description. I don't even know what to say. Barbados. Okay, let's
Got some detail.
add a depot. Or browse. We're gonna go to. Good lord. I'm just gonna copy the path, right? Can I do that? Boom, 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 boom. My Steam friends list is looking kind of gyro username. Try ID. Yeah, for sure, dude. Let me get this uploaded real quick first.
Else at the top, fill in the.
How do I? Okay. Contents. Just gonna select that. Just like that. Copy that.
When a child is in the hospital, family does whatever it takes to stay. At Ronald McDonald House, we give them a community of support, warm meals, and a place to rest. Because when a child is in the fight of their lives, families stays. And Ronald McDonald House stays with them.
Ronald McDonald, the G. Okay.
ID automatically if you only have one, to add the path to your content builder folder and also fill in the account details.
Content builder. Surprised it can't extract that itself. Like doesn't it just now? Should it just now? Content builder. Alright.
Of your inspiration files that are needed for. If this is your first time uploading a build for your game, you will also need to press the Generate VDF.
Generate VDF. Steam login is required. Okay. Nice. Seems simple enough. Delete this guy. Hey.
Yes button. This will create some configuration files that are needed for the upload process. You only need to press the button once and later on repeat only if you add new depots to the list or your configuration files have been removed for some reason. Okay, now we have everything set up in the tool. Press upload and a command line interface will pop up. It will probably
I'm so scared. Please work. Okay, I am logging in. Approve. Nice, that's nice. Oh shit. I don't know what I just did. I don't know if it worked or not. Bro. I actually don't know if it just worked. Okay, it said success. So I'm assuming we're good.
First, the command line, the builds section in your have a log message saying that it was a success. You can now close this app. Let's go check out our newly uploaded build in.
Yeah, let's go check it out. Bow, 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 bow. Alright, we want to set it up as a playtest, right? So I need to do a silly willy billy. Is it ready? Hold on. It's almost ready. So I think I uploaded the build.
Steamworks. Navigate to the builds section in your Steamworks settings. In here you can see all the builds you have uploaded, including the one you just now uploaded. But
I still have no idea how to navigate this shit, unfortunately. Okay. Steamworks admin. Go to builds.
before we do anything with that, let's go to the general installation section under the installation tab. In here, we need to tell Steam how your game can be opened. So add a new launch option and in there fill in the details. If you are not doing anything special, the only thing you need to do here is add the name of the executable file. Do note that if your executable file is...
That could be a problem. What did I call you? Shit. Content builder. Content. You are HDRP, dude. What the fuck? Why am I so bad at this? HDRP underscore breaking .exe updates. Oh.
Inside a folder in your build, you will need to add the exact path for that file. After setting up the launch option, you need to go to the Publish tab and publish changes so that the new launch option will work. Don't worry, your game will not be published by doing this. Once we are done with that, let's go back to the build section. Now in your newly uploaded build, set the branch as default and hit preview.
Okay.
change. You still need to confirm the change on a new build section and publish changes so that the new launch option will work. Don't worry, your game will not be published by doing this. Once we are done with that, let's go back to the build section. Now in your newly uploaded build, set the branch as default and hit preview change. You still need to that. Let's go back to the build section. Now in your newly uploaded build, set the branch as default and hit preview change. You still need to confirm the change on a new page, and then after that your build will be live on the default branch.
I'm so confused, bro. Okay.
And no worries again. This doesn't mean random people can now play your game. It just means that your game can now be played through Steam by those who have access to the default branch. If you haven't given out access rights to anyone, it should just be you who can now play the game. Let's go see if it works. If your Steam has been running in the background, you might need to restart it. Seems to work great.
I'm somebody with a softer voice. That one's really good. I think that's why.
That's what you want to see. But if instead of seeing your game pop up, you see an error like this, you probably messed up something with the launch of.
Okay. So go to Steam.
Some details. Great, it works. If your Steam has been running in the background, you might need to restart it.
Is it ready? I know, I'm trying, I'm trying. There's so much I don't know. Okay. Yo, what's up? Bro, I'm trying to set up a playtest on Steam. And it's currently going some sort of way. Okay. I don't know, dude. I'm as much in the void as you are. I know nothing. Unfortunately, I know nothing. This is what I'm looking at right now. I don't know if I need to set anything else up. Let me ask ChatGPT. A Dragon Ball. It's gonna be a playtest for the game. So basically, until the official release, I'll just have you guys like play it, give me feedback, stuff like that, and then at the official release, I'll close the playtest and then officially release it. Bow, 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 bow. Playtest. Yes, I do. Hell yeah, I do. Ew, yeah. Alright. Done. Awesome. Get back to my dashboard. I'm so confused right now. Okay. Use the playtest. Again, I really have no idea if I'm gonna be able to set up playtesting today. I might have to wait till they approve it. I have no idea. Okay, we need the header. Header, small, and main. We'll drag this in. Nope. 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 Where do you want those up here? Ah. Okay. Upload. Bam, 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 bam. Obviously, I'm gonna change these. These are just super basic. So don't roast me, guys. Do you like a DLC that gives one cosmetic and doubles the price of the game? Honestly, that's a good idea. I should do that. I should do that. Placement tool. Okay. So then we want library logo, hero, header, capsule. Drag those on there. Library logo, library header, library capsule, library hero. Upload. Bam bam, bam bam, bam bam, bam. Oh no. Alright. Library capsule. Did I not upload the library capsule? Am I tripping balls? Boom placement tool. Make that shit fucking massive. Hell yeah, dude. Hit close. Is that all I need to do? Okay, sweet. Baller. Baller, baller, baller. First one to do a steal patient. Dude, what are these games that you guys are doing? I'm so confused, guys. New shortcut icon. Shortcut icon. Bam. Upload. App icon. Upload. Bam. Did I do that? I don't know if I did it. Okay. Okay, where am I going? Where am I? Where even am I? I don't really want to do a slow barrel, but my teammate kind of useless in this, except for Molly, so... That's fair, that's fair. I'm like, ready for review. I was trying to get out of the way for feedback. Okay. Alright, I think we need to re-upload, for a difference for the playtest now. Dude, holy shit, I cannot see anything. What even is that profile picture that's supposed to represent a gun? I thought the whole time your profile picture was a switch. Where? On what?
Somebody with a softer voice. That one's
Bro,
really
what
good.
the fuck are we
I think
listening
that's why I
to?
like having music and rock music so much. There's no time to be.
There's no time. I'm just trying to listen to Minecraft music, man. That's all I'm trying to do. I have so many tabs open. Are you talking about like my Discord profile picture? It's just supposed to be a T. That's all. Just a T. A stylized T. Like the letter. Okay, we need to do a thing. Do another thing. Do another thing. Okay, where's this? Playtest. Playtest. Depot ID. Do I have a depot? Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, it's just a T. Gunner music ad. Yeah, actually. Personal. Hey, ain't nothing personal about that. It says not true. Depots. So you got a team. Is this for a game jam? Goober? Good lord. 1. Oh shit. 0. And we want to do this but 1. And we're just gonna go ahead and do this again. I think that works at Depot. Oh, nope. We already got the VDFs in this. I think we can just keep it the same. I think that should be good. I might run into some errors here. Uploading content. Success. Nice. Okay. So we should have launch option. Okay, we want to edit this. It's called HERP_breaking and playthrough. Right? I think that's what it's called. Windows. Oh, fuck! Why did I do that? Why have I done this? Build 1. HERP_breaking. Oh. Went through. Let's see. Okay. Should be good. Builds. Defaults. I don't think I need to worry about... I think that was it, right? That's the only thing you do.
It's a new build section. Now, in your newly uploaded build, set the branch as and hit preview change. You still need to confirm the change on a new page, and then after that, your build will be live on the default branch.
The Last of Us from Timo. I got like a dev group for you to join. They want to make game, but don't have enough people currently. Only 2. That server does have many members though. I'm interested, dude. I gotta make sure that I fucking get this done though. I don't think I'd be able to contribute anything. Is it just like a hangout or like work on a game together? Discord group. Cause I'd definitely hang out, but I don't know if I'd be able to like work on anything until after I get like all of this stuff done. Goober or Lightning. Yeah, I've only done one game jam. That's how I got into Unity actually. That's how I started it anyway. Ooh. General. Okay, I'm really hoping that's everything I need for Windows. Say, I want to see this. You should make Sex with Hitler 4. There's 3 of them already. Mark is ready for review. Just trying to do some playtests. Okay. Oh shit, I forgot to publish. Fuck! Nah, just I guess that there are 4 of them because I wouldn't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I believe you. I'm sure you don't know much about it. Or maybe you know everything about it. Maybe you have published the last 3 Sex with Hitlers. Okay. This should be all of our changes. Nice. So I can go back to this. Submit for checking. I don't think I can. I have some friends who have watched. What's up? What's up? I don't know. Did I do something? I'm scared now. What have I done? Okay, I got like 3 minutes and then I gotta go help someone real quick. You forgot my bum-ass trailer in my last episode. I haven't forgot it. I'm just I'm trying to get this uploaded, man. I'll watch it and I'll play it later. I gotta get this set up though. Because if I don't do it soon, there's not gonna be enough time. You did forget it. I ain't forgot it. I ain't forgot nothing. The Steam keys to play my playtest. Okay. I don't want off-screen shit, bruh. I ain't. It's gonna be on the screen. You better believe it. You better believe it. Did I just get a text? Oh, okay, what do I... Following steps, you will be able to release your game here. Instruct me to edit store game. He wants you. He like wants you. Oh, he okay. Bro, are you guys like 10 years old? What are these comments? He wants you. Bro. I just need this all to get set up, dude. Fuck. I think I have to wait. I don't think I can hand out Steam keys yet, guys. Let's request Steam keys. 500 keys, bro. I ain't give a shit. Let's something more manageable. Play or play tester. I would be homeless. That goes to. He will drain you? What are you guys talking about draining people? What do you mean? Summer. Okay. I've submitted a request for the keys. Shit. Limited store visibility. Alright, so I think I have to wait. I have to wait till they... Shit, dude. Enable the launches PlayStation Survivor. Why am I so sure? Dull or corrosive? Yeah, I think I have to wait. I think I have to wait. Unfortunately. God damn it. Okay, so it might be a week. It might be a week. So, unfortunately, no playtest anytime soon. Unfortunately. But that'll give me time to make it better, because right now it's so basic, guys. Like the game is literally just, let me put this back in here. There's quite literally just, I should be able to open it myself. Through Steam. Library. Literally. Oh. No internet connection. I'm sorry, what did you say? Actually, that might be a problem. If I am being honest. I need to go to tools. Content builder. Content. The game is so simple right now. Post a game, start lobby. And it didn't work. And I don't know why it didn't work. That's awesome, dude. Fantastic. Stop. Okay. We don't want to do it through here. We want to do it through... What do you want to do? Now let's see if it works. It did not work. Why did it work the one time, but not this time? I do not know. Oh, I'm so confused. Okay, well, the whatever's working, I guess. Well, okay. So I gotta wait, I guess, until they approve it, and then I can hand out keys. But until then, I guess I'm just working on it. I should try giving me full I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Bro, you guys are crazy. What happens if I go here? I got a gnarly headache, dude. Shouldn't actually need that. But I might need to that's how it's up. Okay, so if I go to here. So until they approve it, I'm just gonna keep updating it, getting the game loop better set up. And by day 75, that's when we're trying to have like the game loop done, player joining done, lobbies done. Like basically everything's built out, it just doesn't look nice or sound nice. And then for the next 25 days, I'll be adding like making it look nice, adding audio, all the fancy schmancy shiz. We want to go to network manager, or where is it? Steam initializer. Scenes or scripts, main menu, network manager. We want to Steam ID. I don't actually know what that means. Well, which one am I trying to have it join to? We want the playtest. $20, bud. You guys are insane. Can I pay you in another way, maybe? Bro, what is going on? What the hell? Test. We want that one. Do 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 do. First again. Aha. And it failed. Fucking fantastic. What is going on? Interesting. I might need to restart Steam. I'm hoping that's the problem. Steam dot exits. Shutting down Steam. Okay, let's turn Steam back on. What did I leak? What did I leak? Okay. Bro, fucking get him out of here. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta check something. Do a 24-hour stream? I wouldn't mind doing a 24-hour stream. Honestly, I prefer to do one, like once the game is up, so I can just do 24 hours of playing with you guys. That would be awesome. I love girls. I want that choichi. What is choichi? I'm just kidding. I know what you meant to type. That is not how you spell it at all. What the hell? Alright. Ugh. So shit was working, but now shit is not working. And I don't know what that means. Do a sleep stream? Yeah, that might be a little much. That might be a little much, man. Okay. Do a subathon, but one sub is an extra 4 hours. Okay, so now it's working. What does that... It identifies it as Space War. Okay. So it counts as 24 hours. Shit. No subathon. Who gonna donate? Exactly. Woo. Look at that, we got trees and shit. Oh fuck, give me the fuck. You guys are insane. What are these guys kissing? What the fuck are they doing? Wait, actually, what are they doing? What the fuck? How many back shots from a woman would it take to be considered gay? What does that mean? How is that? How what? Was ist das? Bro, these fat ass dog NPCs cannot fit through this shit. So to be honest, I kind of need. This is not good. Although I know why it's there. It's upsetting. I kind of forgot about it, if I'm being honest. Like, that is so cool. I think that's so neat, dude. What's any touch? Touch. That's not good. Oh, it just fucking shuts everything down. Okay. Oh. I'll go ahead and continue setting up the main Steam page. Because we got the playtest page complete. So let's do... Platform support matches. You made the dogs fat, they don't have control over fat food. Bro, I don't even... Y'all are so confusing. Yeah. Wait, what? Interesting. I don't think it's gonna work, but if it does, oh, it worked. Let's fucking go. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Nice, dude. That's super solid. So I can test with the playtest. Although I need manage. I need it to open on the right. Fucking. Let's see if it works again. La di da di da, shlabamina. Fetch me some soup. Okay, it works. Nice. Trifle, when are you gonna play my shit? I'm gonna do it in a minute. I'll be right back though. I'll be right back. And then I'll do it. I just wanted to make sure that it's working. Which it is, because I'm the bomb. Not actually, but I'll be right back. Lobby lobby. Meow 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 meow. Is your name Starbucks? Cause I like you a latte. Okay. You guys want to know a good line? Instead of saying anything like what Lightning just said, just walk up to whoever it is and start groaning, right? It's a great way to make some friends. Just start groaning, dude. And if they're a real one, they'll groan back, you know? And that's how you know you found the right one. Alright, Lightning. Moments of poof. Shlobby lobby la. Shlobby lobby da. Okay. Let's see it. Let's see it. La 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 la. Okay. Official launch trailer. you're visiting the site. Now, real quick, Lightning. Is there... You gotta be honest. Is there copyrighted music in this? I must know. It's only 19 seconds, so I guess it won't really matter if it's copyrighted music. Alright, you ready? Here we go. Samai. That's pretty solid, dude. That's pretty solid.
At Shane Company.
I will say though, about a fifth of the trailer is black screen, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like you build up the music, which is nice. I think that's super good, but I'd bring this in on the very first dawn, you know? Like right here, this is where I'd bring in the Presented by Sammy Dev. Instead of waiting till right here. Does that make sense? And then I would put this and this at the end of your video. Before this, or maybe after this. So move the basement, move the main screen and the warning till the end, right? Like if you look at movie trailers, they'll move the warnings till the end because the trailer itself doesn't have the warning. The game has the warning. So I'd skip these two, put these two at the end, and then go straight to gameplay. And maybe get like this is good, this is good, like this is good. I like that. The jump scares are perfect. I'd keep the jump scare at the end of your gameplay reveal, but add more of like the puzzles. So like by Sammy Dev and then immediately into gameplay. Without that, without the warning or the main menu. Straight into gameplay. Shows gameplay, shows more of the puzzles. Because realistically, the player only sees they only see 4 seconds of gameplay, and for a trailer, you should have a little bit more. So I'd have more gameplay, and then put the warning and the menu, and then out now. And I think that'd be solid. I'll be right back though. I don't know. Awesome. Wait, what's up? What's up? That's all. Yeah. Is like a warning, as in you get an upload CTAT, or just a game design? I don't know if you need a if you need that. Yeah, maybe flash the warning before you do the presented by, just so people know it right at the bat, you know, or maybe after, but then get straight into gameplay. Spooky. Wait, he didn't Goofy say they were Dutch? Or am I tripping? Oh. Gabagoo. Alright, let's see this. Last of Us. I can't find the zip. Lightning. It's not showing up. Baba Boo. Lightning, maybe check the like the share permissions on your zip. I can't find it. Please check that you copy the link completely. Never mind. I'm stupid. Stupid. Damn, 500 gigabyte zip file. Okay, I got the Steam keys. The stinkies. I got the stinkies, you guys. Why did I just open OBS? What the fuck am I doing? What the hell? Let me ask ChatGPT if I can use the Steam keys. ChatGPT. I don't see this. Steam users who receive Steam keys about that as an Oh, wait. I think. Oh shit. I don't think I did it right. I don't think I did it right, guys. Oh shit. Well, let's play this first, and then yeah, okay. Y'all are insane. Extract all. The Last of Us buns. I mean, one. But second question, I'm curious, is you really a grown woman or a grown man? I'm just curious. I know it ain't none of my business, but I'm just curious. He needs to know. Run. Uh-oh. Beard, ass hair, and all. There are some women who have beards and ass hair. Sony Interactive Entertainment presents. Bro's not even trying to hide it. Going all out. Holy shit. Where'd you get that? Nice, dude. Look at that. Look at this beautiful game. It's got that music too. Oh, wow, wow. Bro, you guys are crazy. That's awesome, bro. Lightning, good job. That is sick, dude. Yeah, he put it together, I think, in Godot. I think he stripped some of the assets, I think. Press a button. Oh shit. I was just clicking. I thought that might do it. Only for players who have completed the main story. Damn, bro. Display. Full screen. Game. Difficulty. Nice, dude. Alright, here we go. This is sick, bro. I don't know why it's only going in one corner. It could be my problem.
He's the contractor, okay? I can't lose this job. I understand. Let's talk about this in the morning, okay? We'll talk about it in the morning. All right, good night.
Hey.
Scoot.
Monday at work, huh?
What are you still doing up? It's late.
Crud, what time is it?
It's way past your bedtime.
But it's still today.
Honey, please not right now. I do not have the energy for this.
Here,
What's this?
your birthday?
It's a tungsten cube. Never mind.
You kept complaining about your broken watch. So, figured, you know.
Try to fix that this one. Video is
You like
dark
it?
for me. No, that's good. It's good.
Honey, this is... It's
What?
nice, but I think it's stuck. It's not...
What? No. Oh, ha ha.
Where did you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
Did he actually just pirate it? Lightning, tell me the truth. Is this just the pirated version?
Good night, baby girl.
Is that it? Okay, I'm assuming that's it. Yeah, that was solid, dude. If you didn't pirate it, like, and you put it together, well, obviously, like, depends on what you mean. Okay, okay. Still really sick, dude. Now I want to play the game. Low baselines. Let's try the basement. Wait, why do you have Unity and Godot in here? Samay! Dumbass. I love that you put dumbass in the warning. Settings, music. Oh shit. You should have an option to turn off music as opposed to like game volume. Because the audio is copyrighted. Alright, speedrun this shit. Bam, bam. Welcome. Find the paper. Oh wait, I didn't grab the paper. Ah. Nice. Go back. Oh shit. Is that Teme? Teme. Level up Teme. Oh, what the? Oh, shit, I guess there's a timer? Shut. I'm gonna be the first speedrunner for this game, dude. Ain't nothing to it. Alright. I see you. I see you. Let me in. Alright, back out. Alright. Red was what? 3. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't want to. What's the code? I don't want to look around. 3, 2, 5, 1. Was it 3, 2, 5, 1? 3, 2, 5, 1. Uh-oh. Don't look away. Three, 2, 5, 1. Alright, and then there's another code. Purple, blue, red, green. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5. Oh shit! Blue was which one?